Question. Did y'all ever play those Blizzard games where you typed in the code in your console command that was greed is good and it gave you all the gold and everything? Feels like that's what Scope is doing with all these primes and officers and such. Anyway, I got a tangent to get on, so hop aboard, everybody.
Fancy intro music, yeah! Woohoo!
Welcome back to the channel, Star Trek Fleet Command fans. And today I want to talk about what is really kind of grinding my gears. Now, to be very clear, what I'm going to complain about has happened in the game since its inception. It's not a new thing. I'm not here to tell you that, oh my gosh, did you know Star Trek Fleet Command wants to make money? Like they've been heavily monetizing things since the beginning of time. Even for my good friend DJ, who back in like January of 2019, spent $1,000 on a Mayflower. Yep, that really happened. And yep, that is kind of like normal. That has been a thing here in the game for some time. But I kind of really want to expound on what the past couple months are so bad and why I really feel like as players, you need to call it out. Now, I know I personally last month was like, hey, everybody, are y'all paying attention to what I believe is going to be really, really bad? I'm warning you, you should probably not engage with some of this content. And I don't know. Look, I'm not saying that y'all didn't listen. I'm just saying that clearly people still engage. And this was one of the things that I brought up, Carol Freeman. And I said, hey, it's going to be just a little bit of a taste to make you want to spend more money. It was $20 to get Carol Freeman, not for free, but to get Carol Freeman, which for a price individually is like, okay, that's actually reasonable. You get an Epic Officer $20 battle pass. Not bad, right? Not bad. My thing was though, like it's going to lead somewhere, and it wasn't just this, right? It always expounds into something more. And now we're seeing that happen really heavily over about the past 3 months. So you've got this. And the reason that this was such a big deal is because even though I'm not here to argue that forbidden technologies are a great thing, what Carol Freeman ended up coming and doing is taking a lot of these that a lot of money got spent on. You take something like aileron radiation, for example, in terms of like how powerful it is. Well, Carol Freeman came through and just negated it. It don't matter. Once you've got this Carol Freeman crew and these new officers that are coming out, they have outdated the strike team officers. They've outdated literally forbidden techs. It just came out a couple months ago. You know, it was just a path. And here's the thing. It doesn't stop there. And again, I really want to really emphasize this. This is not new, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, if you are an older Star Trek Fleet Command player, please remind all the newer folks in the chat, this is not some new strategy. From 2018 in November to early 2019, you've seen this done multiple times a year. So my soapbox today is more of making sure that you are aware. I'm not trying to convince Scopa to stop doing what they've done for 5 years, because clearly it's working because people are buying things. But I do want y'all to understand that the game goes through this certain cycle. And I want you to understand what's happening right now, because a lot of things are being added in, and this has happened in the past, that you're not even aware of, that are for the purpose of kind of rewarding spending. Now, again, spending is spending. I'm not saying that people shouldn't spend their money. It's your money, not my money. Do whatever you want with it. But I am saying that you should be aware of how the practice works. And the practice is kind of like I'm saying here, you're going to invest in something only for months later to be useless. And that's just kind of the MO. I mean, that's like intentional. And you even reach a point where some things that are quality of life fixes are going to get added into the game, but they come in the form of purchasing. In fact, before I get off the screen, let me show you one of them, the Ferengi Whip. Why is this important? Why the heck does Rev, of all people, care about a Ferengi Whip? Well, let me go ahead and explain to you why this is redonkulous. So, you see it here, almost looks right above me. It looks strong, but it almost, I wouldn't say that it looks innocuous or like it's not a threat, but you can definitely tell that it's insidious. I actually love what Quark said in Deep Space Nine about the Federation. You know, he's talking about how the Federation was like root beer. It was all bubbly and, you know, it makes you feel good. And it creeps up on you. It doesn't actually taste good. It's not actually wonderful. Although I do honestly love root beer, but it's insidious. It works its way into you. And here's why this is crazy. So if you actually click the button here, I do like that they've added this. You can actually see how strong they get. So at max, you're going to see a whopping. That is, yeah, those are real numbers, by the way. Look at that whopping 48,000 bonus to concentrated latinum for your Fisha, as well as increasing cargo capacity for whatever ship you put this on, as well as mining rate 800% for just generic mining rate. That's like for anything that you have it on, not just concentrated latinum with a Fisha. Keep it going. What more does it do? Increases protected cargo. That sounds important, especially on a Fisha. Now, what does that translate to? Get ready. Big picture coming. Wow! What do they do with all this? What am I showing you? What they did is, Mining Monday, they sold the win. Like, if you want to win Mining Monday, that's how. This is how. This is how. Like, concentrate Latinum wins. Like, it doesn't matter if you preload 10 million G4, G5, or you buy this for $50, you get the tier 1, or you can max it out and start going crazy, and you're going to win unless somebody else buys it, and then they're a little bit more studious with theirs than you are, but you're going to place, right? You come in for $50, and there you go. You are now engaging in a great addition to the game. You're actually mining faster, which is argued quality of life, and it's not just the winning that makes this good. There's also other changes that are happening to the game. But the point I'm making, you have a level of monetization where, one, free-to-play can't compete at all. There was more of an argument for a time where it was pay to progress. Now we literally are seeing pay to win. This is literally pay to win the Monday event. And it even goes deeper beyond, because I said something earlier, and I don't want to make it sound like I'm contradicting myself. What I said earlier is still true. The game has always done heavy monetization like this. They've always done it. But at the same time, there was a path to get somewhere. Something that Lube and Ultimate DJ, shout out to my cat friend, have done or tried to argue for the Ultimate Whip, is that it should have a free-to-play path, and that eventually everybody should be able to unlock the whip because of how strong it is. And I agree with that. I mean, Mining Monday should probably pay out a couple of these shards so that you're working towards unlocking it for free instead of it just being a paywalled win for all the events. But again, it's not just this. There's more to it. Talk about other quality of life fixes that many of you have been asking for a long time. How about your discovery? Let me pull out my discovery, actually, because I don't use my discovery except for summoning, so I don't just typically have it sitting out. But here's my discovery. Now, keep in mind that I've got my warp range research done, and I've also got other researchers outside Disco. My current warp range is 145, which is fine, but it's a little lacking. And a quality of life fix that a lot of people have been asking for has been, hey, it'd be really cool if we could get extended warp range and like a research for this ship because we still want to use it. Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? You got it if you've got $100. Because it's a Prime. Prime Discovery Warp Range. Yeet. You can buy it. Not exactly what you asked for, right? And again, this is my biggest tangent. The whole reason I'm on the soapbox today is it's one thing to pay to progress. It's another thing to be completely changing the meta of different things. We've now changed the PvP meta twice in the past year between Strike Team Officers, Carol Freeman, Forbidden Technology. So technically 3 times in like a 13 13 month span, we have now changed the PvP meta 3 different times. And 3 different times it was all spending. And now we're even changing the PvE metas with like Mining Monday is now a Forbidden Tech and you win. The only people that you're going to be able to have competition against are people who are also investing in that. And then all locking quality of life fixes behind paywalls. And then there's the cherry on top for me. Now, I'll be very clear. I am personally kind of biased here, and I understand that if you are a spender, with the one I'm about to bring up, you're going to be like, well, that was bad for the game. Cool, you have your opinion, I have mine. This one right here, Prime Station Delay. Remember the bold-based defense and the ocean-based defense? One of the only ways that players at lower levels could defend, especially in incursions, against higher-level players in territory, in incursions, whatever, PvP base rating. Not anymore. This basically ruins any type of oceans or bold-based defense. The ability to buy the ability to prevent you having any competition from lower-level players. I mean, oh gosh. So my frustration is not the game wants to make money. I understand the game wants to make money. I think it should. But when we are constantly changing things just so that we can sell something new a few months later, and when we're then doing things like this that take away any competition for those of us who are in the lower levels, let's just call me Krill. I understand whales should exist, and that means I'm Krill. I should be eaten. But krill still have to be able to thrive. And stuff like this is like you're removing the krill breeding grounds. At some point, the krill die off. And then there's nothing for the whales to eat. And if you've ever studied marine biology ecosystems, whales like to eat a lot. They gotta have stuff to eat. So if there's not enough krill, there are no more whales. So my soapbox is, pay to progress is one thing, Scopely, and that's fine. literally pay to play and pay to win is kind of where we ventured into now. And I don't feel like that's healthy for this game, especially with other Star Trek games coming out like Star Trek Infinite. And by the way, there's other Star Trek mobile games popping up. I want Star Trek Fleet Command to last to be successful because this, beyond the whole me doing this on YouTube, I have legitimate friends and a community here that my mental health is made better because of the community here. My life is made better just because of the friends and relationships I've made. I have relationships and friends that I have now had for 4 or 5 years that I haven't had that type of longevity in friendship since like college and high school. Like, I really love these people and I don't want them to go away. That's the soapbox. I don't want all this like hardcore squeeze all the blood from a stone to make all my friends leave this game. That's my soapbox. So I know I kind of went in several directions here. I apologize for that, but I've had a level of frustration with the monetization strategy. Like, we get it, Scopely. You need to make money. And guess what? Being that monetary giant is becoming more difficult because you keep releasing crappy stuff. The stability of the game keeps going down and down. Communication is at an all-time low. You've had a negative communication grade since like July. It's been terrible. And yet we're still pushing things like this. Because God forbid a level 46 can make a Sanctus blow up on his base. That's terrible. Yeah, we definitely can't have that. That sounds like the problem of the game. Oh, sorry, wrong one. Although yes, we also need that. Wrong one. The one I wanted to put up was this one. Sorry. See my frustration when I'm paying attention. This. But anyway, if you didn't know about these things existing, well, now you do. If you did know, well, hopefully you're frustrated. And if you're not frustrated, well, I'm happy you're not frustrated because I'm not trying to make you angry. If you're a high spender and you think that this is literally supposed to be in the game, that's your opinion and you're entitled to it. But there we go. There's Rev's soapbox for the day. I truly am worried that Scopely is bleeding this game to death. And let me be very clear. They don't think the game is dying because G6 is around the corner. I've seen the ships. They put forth a lot of man hours into making G6. It's real. So they clearly believe the game lasts for years. I'm just like, you got to respect your player base more. You got to listen more. You got to actually fix the bugs in the game more. Yeah. Anyway, soapbox over. Y'all let me know what you think in the comment section down below.
An even better outro than the intro. For the Empire and glory to your house.